Good afternoon, Dr. Engelstad, and everybody else. My name is Greg Klosterman, and I currently intern for KB Homes. I assist the superintendent on the day-to-day operations of this job site right here. Today we're going to be focusing on shear and hold down inspections for this home right here. So in this, I'm going to give you about a 5-minute video on what to look for. We're going to be going for shear and hold downs. And by shear, I'm really meaning the exterior of the home right here, the shear of it. We use a zip system here. Before this and after this inspection is done, we're actually allowed to start taping it with a very thick epoxy style tape that adheres to the pores that are in the board. As you can see on here, the house itself, the shear is complete on this particular home. And again, the shear is literally just the exterior siding that goes on prior to the actual cladding or siding that goes on the house. Some builders use a Tyvek system. Again, we use a zip system. So as you can see on here, we're going through everything. All we're doing to make sure that we pass the inspection on this is there's actual board covering every bit of 2x4, 2x6, and it connects in with the foundation on the house. The cutouts are for where the windows will go. The little block that you see that's right up there will actually need to be filled in prior to us actually going for the inspection. What the inspector is going to be looking for on something like this is to make sure, again, that between every frame that there's an exterior cladding that's on there right here that fits in, so that there's no air gaps and seepage for when you're going to actually start putting on your real siding. As you can see, minus the one spot that's over there, this house is pretty good from a siding perspective, from the shear. There's a hole right there that'll need to be patched, actually two. What'll happen, some of your utilities like your HVAC and plumbing and some of your vent lines will actually come out of the side of the house, but those, like that hole that's right there, actually can't be cut until after this inspection's done. This little overhang right here is fine. You can actually have that when you're going for your shear and hold down inspection, but that will need to be cut out prior to actually putting the siding on the house. So again, as you can see on here, the shear is actually pretty good. What they look for on the shear is to make sure your nailing patterns that are here and here, everything aligns with where the studs are at on the other side. Now this is 16 inches on center, meaning that it's literally 16 inches from nail to nail on the bolts, right, or on the studs right here. So you have a stud there, stud there. This one's actually a 24. Stud there connecting 24, 24, 24. So you have 16 in the front of the garage, 24 everywhere else. The hold down inspection is where they sit. The inspector will come and make sure that these right here, this is a hold down, Simpson strong tie. It's 14 gauge aluminum, US patent number right there if that makes any difference. So long as these are the exact same thickness, you're good. Some of the inspectors want them to be the same height in relation to where the foundation is at right here. But really all you have to make sure is that every hole that's inside this tape, it's an actual nail hole, is filled with a nail, and you're going to see a nailing pattern where you're going to be going up along the members to make sure that you have every 2-3 inches right here, the same nailing pattern configuration as what's on the hold down. You'll notice the clump of nails that are up right there. It's called shotgun nailing. What that does is that actually connects at your vertical trimming posts. What it does is it connects the microlam header to the exterior shear. Now the inside of this you're going to see is you're going to have aluminum tape, or sometimes you can see like Boca plates, and you're going to have a minimum of 8 nails on either side of that header to make sure that it's to code. If there's 8 nails on the header itself, great. If there's 20 of them on the header itself, that's fine as well. The code requirement is a minimum of 8 nails here and up there on either side. And you'll notice that up there, like that particular tape That's not going to be going for inspection right now, but that needs to be moved over so that you have 8 nails on either side of any type of cut or perforation that's greater than 40% of the width of the board. So another thing to look out for when you're actually going for this inspection, where this particular tie down is on the other side, you can't have exposed nails. So it either has to go through the long end of a 2x4 like this, or it has to go through 2 of the butt ends or the width ends of a 2x4. Like this right here will probably get hit on. They'll either make us tamp these down, like move them over, or actually add another trimmer along there so that those are not exposed. The whole point is to make these houses safe, and so that the end user, you know, doesn't hurt themselves. A portion of this right here, when you're doing the shear, and these are the hold downs here, what these are is used for raking force. Raking force is basically wind. What that does is, we live in Colorado here, and this is in Aurora, so there's enough area for a lot of wind to develop. This is really where Tornado Alley starts. So these particular hold downs are of vital importance to this house. The hold downs hold down the vertical portion, as you can see, the vertical portion of the home to the foundation. It's used in conjunction with your anchor bolts, which are these right here, or interior, what some of the people in the industry call redheads. These actually hold down the horizontal member, or your sill plate right here, to the foundation. Now the foundation is literally the backbone of your home. So as you can see, we're going to do a quick walk around of the house to make sure that all of my hold downs are where they should be. Hold downs will always be on the exterior of the house. Now this one's good. This will need to get patched up or have an engineer's letter. Those of you who have never bought a home before, don't worry about it. This type of stuff actually happens all the time. And usually a certified structural engineer will come out and certify these to make sure that these hold downs are the way that they should be. So those are good. As you can see, there's the same nailing pattern along. It follows nailing paddle all the way along the edge there. Right here you have nailing patterns that go straight up, all the way up to the top, up to the top, up to the top, up to the top. The biggest thing is to make sure when you're doing these nailing patterns is to make sure that they're the same, or relatively the same. And they're the same width, basically off center. Like you'll see the line there, that's on center along the post pack that's there. So these particular tie downs, these hold downs are just fine. And they're always going to be on the front of the house and on the back of the house, at least for a house that's this size. Now these are 1,400 to 1,800 square foot side by side or paired homes. As you can see, there's 2 front porches that are here. If it was one house, it'd be about a 4,000 square foot house, but these are 2 that are separated. So another thing to make sure of when you're going here is you've got your tie downs here, right there. This is missing 2 right here. Those are actually going to need to be filled in before we can go for inspection for that. One thing to consider when you're actually doing this stuff, if you go into residential, understand that these homes are being built by human beings, so there's going to be air. A lot of the times you always have to check to make sure that the nailing patterns and that every piece on the house fits before you actually call for the inspection. You'll see a gap in the shear right there that's about 1 inch wide. It's actually fine because it's connecting to the header that's there and also the trimming posts that go up along what this is called a party wall. Since it's a double tandem house, that party wall on the outside is right here. So this is the party wall, and this is a 2-hour non-combustible material that's kept on by what's called brackets. And this isn't what's going to get inspected, but the hold downs that are on the inside that are over here, like this, they're going to make us remove these ladders before we're allowed to get inspected. Now you'll see over here, they purposely put the hold downs in an area where there's usually like post packs or where it's inaccessible for the homeowner to actually get to it. So that one will be fun because that's going to get insulated and sheetrocked anyway. There's another hold down that's right here on this post pack that's right there. There's trimmers that are there, so that's fine. These right here, as you'll notice right there, those are going to need to be hammered down so that you can't actually catch them. This is still going to get insulated, but something like that that's exposed, directly exposed, needs to be mitigated. So far, this house actually looks like it's going to do just fine, minus a couple of nail holes and a couple holes on the outside. Another one that I know that some of our contractors miss from time to time is the hole down that's inside the garage. It's vital to have at least one on the inside of the garage, because if there's a weather-related wind event that comes through and you have your garage door open, that raking force can push up on this garage and literally lift the house if it's not properly tied down. So I hope that this has been informative for all of you. Again, my name's Greg. Thank you.